It was August 31st, 1965, the day on which Rocky Holm was born. A hot and humid day in Hutchinson, Kansas. Little did Faith and Lloyd Holm know that one day their child would be a hero to look up to.
My dad was Lloyd Holm, and my mom is Faith Holm. My mom was always like a homemaker, but my dad was a truck driver, farmer, welder. He was like a jack of all trades, so he done a whole lot of everything.
Rocky Holm was ready to join the forces right out of high school at the age of 18. First joining the Army, inspired by his Uncle Bob, and then enlisting in the Navy, Holm earned the role of E.T. Chief Petty Officer before retiring. For all of the accomplishments he had completed for our country, Holm received the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Award and 2 Joint Task Meritorious Awards for his dedication. To start off, before joining the Navy, which was the branch in which he spent most of his career, Rocky Holm enlisted into the Army as soon as he was out of high school. Growing up with all 8 of his uncles in the military, Holm determined that enlisting was the right decision for him. He had held jobs during his high school career in a packaging plant, in restaurants, and in a steel mill as a painter. However, none of those jobs gave him fulfillment or purpose. Once Holm entered the Army, the atmosphere was nothing unfamiliar for him to acclimate to. Strict schedules and discipline were characteristics of the atmosphere that he had grown up in. Therefore, Holm easily adjusted to the military lifestyle.
That was the main topic of any military, was the discipline, and that's what they wanted. They wanted to break you from being a civilian to being disciplined enough to listen, follow orders, and
Was that easy for you?
In fact, he actually enjoyed the structure in his life, waking up every day at the same time and following the same ritual. It was appropriate for him since at the time he had been a teenager and needed more discipline than ever before. Joining helped Holm escape his hometown and discover a job that he was passionate about. When Holm became involved with the Navy, marking when he believes his career officially took off, Holm determined that choosing the Navy was what was in his best interest. Holm enlisted in the Navy because he claimed that he wanted to see the world and he had a desire to travel. Going overseas and sailing was his passion. Among his years of Navy service, Holm was aboard the USS Coons, the USS Bowen, the USS Stark, and the USS Merrimack AO-179, and finally the USS Trenton. One particular story from Holm's time aboard these ships was the event in which the USS Stark was missiled, blowing up a bridge and killing several members aboard the ship. Holm was not on the ship, but was on the USS Coons, which aided the USS Stark. This event is still engraved in his head due to the trauma that his one close friend had gone through carrying dead bodies off the ship after the attack. During wartime, Holm served in the Middle East the whole time, 8 months at a time. He says that his thoughts in the areas that he served in the Middle East were rough and that people were not very nice. However, some other places he got to travel to see throughout his service were Spain, France, Egypt, where he had much better experiences. In Europe, Holm speaks of horseback riding and walking from island to island. He claims to have thousands of good memories from most of the places he served. He even adds the good times will always outweigh the bad times.
For good luck, Holm had what he calls a talisman and still has it to this day. It is a rock that his father chipped out as an eagle. He claims it looks just like an American eagle, and he carried it in his pocket during his entire Navy career. When talking about the best of times of his career, Holm claims that it was in fact all of it. Even when he might have been on the verge of death, and even taking out the fact that he still has struggled with some of the things he saw during his service today, he still looks at every memory from his service as a learning experience. During the last 8 months, Holm's experiences at Guantanamo Bay were not pleasant, to say the least. Guantanamo Bay was located at a naval base in Cuba. Even when Holm was getting cocktailed at the prison, the education and eye-opening experiences were the most important aspects that he had drawn from the understanding. At the detention center, Holm guarded many detainees, most of which were involved in dangerous tribes. Day-to-day occurrences, such as having their lives threatened or getting feces, urine, or even semen thrown at them, were facets that were only later dealt with through counseling and therapy for most veterans, including Holm. In conclusion, from the beginning of his career, Holm enjoyed his enlistment time greatly. Among the good times and the bad times, Holm served our country to the best of his ability. By starting out his career in the Army and following by switching over to the Navy, Holm was able to serve aboard 5 different ships: the USS Kuntz, the USS Bowen, the USS Stark, the USS Merrimack AO 179, and the USS Trenton. Additionally, Holm received the Marine Corps Achievement Award and 2 Joint Task Meritorious Awards for his service and dedication to our country.
Oh, absolutely. I got the best job in the world because of my service-related work.
What is your job?
I work at Anheuser-Busch in the group.
Overall, we thank Rocky Holm for his service to our country and dedication to his career. Rocky Holm now lives in Williamsburg, Virginia, and works at a brewery. He lives with his wife and his younger son Dylan, and also has an older daughter named Sarah who lives in the area as well. He is a husband, father, grandfather, and retired veteran all in one.